This is probably my favorite topic of all time. The twin flame relationship. I prefer to explain it from my own personal experience rather than from any literature or education that's out there based upon twin flames, because I feel like there's a lot of really shitty information out there on twin flames, and maybe you've been bouncing around and getting really confused and feeling the pressure that a lot of people put on the twin flame relationship and kind of putting it in this box of what it can be. And the truth is that twin flame relationships are limitless. So it's one of the most limitless things you'll ever come across in this lifetime, I think. And what I'd like to share on the twin flames is something that pulled me out of this space of absolute pure agony and brought me into a space of learning and expansion and understanding and joy and truth. So I met my twin flame June 1st of 2014, and everything in my entire world shifted from that point on. Everything. And if you knew the situation, you wouldn't understand what I'm smiling about. But if you knew the core of it all, you would understand. It's been horrible. It's been some of the worst pain in my life. We're still not resolved. We barely send each other a text here or there. I haven't seen him in 3 months. So, stick with me on this though. Stick with me on this. I'm happy. There's this idea that the twin flame relationship needs to be a relationship. And we stick it in this box and try to make it a relationship like other relationships. Like relationships that we've had in the past, like normal boyfriend, girlfriend crap. And that's not what it is, I don't think. And the reason I say this is because when I stopped trying to make it be that, I saw it for what it was, for what it is. So what did I do to ease the pain of a rather difficult twin flame relationship? I took the expectation off. I dropped all these egoic ideas of what love looks like. Because I knew I was feeling this incredible intensity that I had never felt in my life before. Never. I've been engaged, I've been in, 5-year, 2-year, 1-year, all long-term relationships. I felt love on a very deep level. I'm a heart-centered Leo. I'm passion. I'm fire. And I've never felt anything like this before in my entire life. And nothing that should apply applies. The zodiacs don't apply to this. Nothing applies to this. Because it's on that vibrational level of pure love. And it's not what we think love looks like. It's not. It's not. It's teaching us how to love on an entirely new level. A level that might be beyond our comprehension in the beginning, but if we take a moment to sink into it and to look at it and feel it for the intensity that it is, without judgment, we can have this beautiful, straight up magic experience. So that's been my secret in the twin flame experience, is learning how to love without saying, okay, this person needs to be here for me if they love me. This person needs to call me if they love me. Well, if this person isn't contacting me, they don't love me. Just letting go of all of that and feeling the love connection no matter what. No matter how that person's acting, no matter if they're there, if they're not, no matter what they're saying, no matter if they hear you. Just loving. Just loving and not trying to make it the relationship, but holding space for that relationship specifically. Do you understand? Like, not trying to make a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife thing. Not saying, okay, it needs to be this. They need to be this way. It has to be this. And then I can love them. And then our love can be. No, just loving. Just being in this place and loving from the point that you're at and continuing to live your life. That's a big thing. That's a big, big, big thing. Is to continue to live your life and move. Because if you are colliding with your twin flame and kind of bouncing in and out of each other's world, it's often to put you into alignment. You guys are showing up to put each other in alignment. That twin flame probably inspires you on certain levels, probably makes you uncomfortable on certain levels. And when they bounce in and out like that, it's your opportunity to say, okay, wait a minute. Realigning with source, with heart, with spirit, moving forward. And it's not about, I mean, for me, it has not been about waiting. Because as I waited for my twin flame to come around, I got closed off more and more and more. I felt the most beautiful despair I've ever felt in my life. I wrote a lot of good poems from it. And I got in touch with some really deep parts of myself. But after a while, you know, those are spaces you can go into and explore, but you don't want to hang out there. You don't want to hang out in the agony. So by all means, go love. Meet people. Spend time with people. Make love to people. Hold space for that twin flame. But don't make it have to be the space of the romantic partner. And it's possible as you flow through these things and you guys realign with each other every once in a while and you put each other on a certain track and you're both opening and exploring and flowing into love, not waiting for it, but just flowing into love, whether you're loving other people or you're loving your twin flame, just flowing through all that love. Stay there because it will draw that love in more and more and more, and it will create more space for that twin flame union. The twin flame is there to show us this greater level of love, and whether they spark that in us and we spend the rest of our lives with someone else having that spark and knowing that, or whether they spark that in us and we do end up with our twin flame as our romantic partner, it doesn't matter. The twin flame is a new level of complete unconditional love. It's a time for us to learn to hold our ground and be loving at the same time. To accept love in without a need for almost, I don't want to say the evidence, but the evidence, you know? It's like knowing someone loves you on your birthday without them having to give you a present. Just knowing that they exist to love you. Knowing that someone came into this world and they exist to love you, no matter what. And they know that's their existence. They know you're not a twin flame without knowing these things. They know it at the core of their being that they exist to love you. And to have just connected with that energy, to have connected with it at any point in your life, be grateful. Because that's what it's all about. It's not about making this beautiful person into what you think they should be in your life. It's about accepting all that love. Because if they exist, that love is there, and you just need to open up to it. It's about clearing the lines of communication between you and your twin flame, and not having it be about anything that surrounds the ego. This is a chance to really drop all that and to explore love on a level of, I mean, personally for me, when I did that, and I just decided, okay, this person stood me up more than anybody in my entire life. People don't, I don't think I've ever been stood up before him. He stood me up. He's been completely unreliable. He vanishes for long periods of time. He's cryptic with how he speaks. He's a hot mess. And I just love him. I stopped saying, oh, if he'll just change this way or this way or this way, I can have him in my life. Because the truth of the matter is, he's there. He's there in my thoughts. He's there in my being. He's there in the essence of me. He is some of the pieces of me that I am trying to allow myself to have more of. He is the poetry. He's home. That feeling of home is something I am delighted to have more of. So stop trying to put your twin into a box. Let them free and let yourself free, because in that freedom you have an opportunity to deepen your relationship with your twin. I think that's all for this video. There's like a ton more, but I think we're pal.